Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm John and this is my little boy Callan here. He's my youngest, he's 3 years old, and behind us we have the SYX Holeshot motorcycle. So this is an exciting little project here. SYX reached out to me and asked if one of my little guys would be interested in trying out their motorcycle. So they reached out and they asked, would you be interested in trying out the motorcycle? And I said, well, probably not for me, but for my 6-year-old Renan and for my 3 soon-to-be 4-year-old Callan, when he graduates from his SYX bike, this will probably be a perfect little upgrade for him. So that's what we're going to find out today. We're going to get this SYX Holeshot unpacked, we're going to put it together, and then we're going to test it out. What do you think? You want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. So you're going to help me? All right, so older brother is a test rider, and he's not going to help us with the install, but he's sure going to help us with the testing of it, right?
And when he had a new go-kart.
Yeah, he's got a new go-kart, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you ready to get this done? You give me a fist bump? All right, let's do it. You ready? All right, say let's go.
Let's go.
Say let's go put this bike together.
Let's go put this bike together.
Okay, let's go. All right, so the first step is to open the box, see what's inside. We're going to get everything out in the open on the bench and look at the direction.
And it will match that go-kart because it had blue on that go-kart.
Yep, so we're going to get everything on the bench, check it out, look at the directions, and then start putting it together. So let's take a look at what's in the box. So the SYX Holeshot is on the bench, and it's most of the way put together.
And look
see how it goes.
It's orange.
That's the exhaust pipe. Is that cool?
Yeah, it's orange.
Yeah, tell everybody. Say it's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
All right, you ready to put it together now?
Yeah.
All right, me too. All right, so we got the SYX Holeshot bike put together. It was a little tricky in certain areas. We'll go over that at the end. But what do you guys think of it so far? Renan came out finally to see what was going on. What do you think of it?
Yeah.
What do you think of it? Not yeah.
I like it.
Well, what do you think? What are your thoughts? Your initial impressions when you came out and looked at it? What do you think?
It was bigger than the Yamaha.
It's bigger. It's taller than the Yamaha Pee-wee 50.
Yeah.
What else?
It has better suspension.
It has better suspension than the Pee-wee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like it has a little bit more suspension. I don't know how good it is, but the Pee-wee suspension isn't that good either, so it doesn't have too hard of a bike to beat with suspension. What else? Do you think it looks cool?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it looks cool?
Mm-hmm. It looks
Yeah.
like a mini super.
What do you like about it, Cal?
I like to jump on it.
You like to jump on it. Okay.
It looks like a mini supercross bike.
It does look cool. It looks like a mini supercross bike. All right, so the last thing we got to do is get these graphics on. You want to help?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the SYX Holeshot Moto is put together and we mixed the gas. It came with a little canister to mix the gas correctly, but I had some 50-to-1 premix already for another bike, so I'm just adding the appropriate amount of oil to make it 25-to-1 like it says it should be. 25-to-1. So we're adjusting the gas that I had. We're going to fill it up and we're going to try to fire it up. Right? What do you think?
Yeah. Yep. Daddy, I want to start it on. Man, there's the gas.
So we're going to try to adjust the idle. It's hidden way down here on the bottom, and they give you a little tool to do that, to reach through there. Probably can't see it too well, but we're just going to tighten it up a little bit. We'll leave it on there and see if we can't get it idling good. We don't know what to expect, so take it easy. Alright, seems like it's running pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah.
You want to open it up and see what she's got? Alright, go ahead. It's all yours. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the process of assembly of the SYX Moto Holeshot dirt bike. So this was a dirt bike that's on Amazon, and I'll put the link in the description below the video. And my thoughts on the assembly were there were some challenges because of the fit and finish basically of the bike. So obviously it's a bargain bike. It's on the budget end of the spectrum. You're not going to have the fit and finish of the $1,000+ Yamahas and Hondas, you know. But so basically, the most challenging part to me was the lower shock bolt. The holes on the mounting ear just didn't line up. So unfortunately, I had to take a drill and make the holes bigger, which is the last thing I wanted to do. But I just could not get it aligned by bending it. So that was a bummer, but we got it together. The rest of the process was pretty easy. There wasn't too much more to it, just installing the front wheel and then the fender and the number plate, and not much else. So the tools that they give you are very lackluster. They're tiny little Allen keys, and you're not really going to get torque on them. The socket handle sort of thing is not going to tighten that front axle like you need it to, but it's cool that they gave you the tools. It's kind of like one of the beds you buy from Amazon. It's going to come with all the wrenches and stuff, so you can do it. It's like a field service kit basically. I mean, yeah, you can do the work, but it's probably just going to be easier to use your own tools. So that's what I did. And other than that, the instructions are pretty lackluster as well. There's only really 3 steps. Basically install the rear shock bolt, then install the front wheel, and install the handlebars. That's it. They didn't mention anything about installing the front brake caliper or the bolt in it. They didn't mention the fender. They didn't mention the number plate, which they call a melt something on the instructions. It's kind of funny, but you get the point. If you've done any sort of work on a bike, you can figure it out. So it didn't hold me up any. It was no big deal. The instructions are pretty much standard for any sort of Chinese sourced or Chinese built little sort of scooter or toy like this. You know, they're all kind of the same. The instructions just aren't going to be stellar, so that's understandable. They gotta cut the corners, you know, in places to get these bikes the price they are. So with that said, I'm going to do a separate video for the ride and review, and I'm going to let Renan review the bike. And I'm going to add in my commentary and asking him pointed questions on the bike and basically answering the questions that I want you to hear answered. But he's going to go ahead and do those answers for you because he's the one riding the bike. So this bike's got some pretty stiff competition in this shop. We have the newly acquired Husqvarna EE5 electric motocross bike. This is a purebred race bike, no corners cut, top of the line. Obviously, that's not going to be dethroned by any bike in this shop. And he just came off the Pee Wee 50, so he's used to that. That's a tried and true kids, you know, starter motocross bike. And then we have the Honda CRF 50, which is Honda reliability and quality to the T in the 50cc bikes. That's one of my favorites. I've always loved Honda 50s, and that bike's, you know, in the rotation too. So kind of got some stiff competition here. And he came off of a Cobra Junior, so that's going to be, you know, sound and fury. So it's going to be pretty interesting what he thinks about this bike stacking up to those other bikes. But based on the installation, I'm going to say that it's, you know, it's not going to dethrone the other bikes, but it's going to be interesting to see. So hope you guys enjoyed that. So far, my initial thoughts are this is probably going to be a pretty decent little bike if it runs good to pick up for your kids if you don't want to make the initial investment or big investment initially into a kid's motocross bike. You know, sometimes kids get on stuff, they don't even know if they like it. So you're going to spend $1,900 on a CRF 50 or Pee Wee 50, or you're going to spend $300 or $400 on the SYX Moto. Find out if your kid likes it. If he loves it, he's going to ride this bike to the ground, and then you're going to know where you're going to upgrade from there. You're going to know if it's worth it, if he's going to stick with it, or she. Girls are ripping around these days too, so if he or she's going to stick with it, or if they're just passing through and it's going to be a phase, then you give it to the next kid down the neighborhood because you don't have a lot of money invested in it. So I think it's going to be a good bike just for that matter. It's a good thing for the industry to have motorcycles at entry-level prices to get kids a little taste. And if they taste it and they like it and they want a bigger scoop, then you go down to the power sports dealer and you pick yourself up a Yamaha or a CRF and then go from there. So yeah, it's bottom of the food chain bike, but we need these small fish in the sea for development and inspiring kids to get into riding. So I'm all for it. Cheap bike, not cheap bike, it doesn't matter. If it's getting kids outside on wheels, on a motor, and helping them learn some skills, then you can't get much better than that. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.